Okay, hello everyone. Ang lecture natin ngayon under to ng General Psychology. Pero kung pakikinggan nyo yung mga sasabihin ko later, pwede rin tong pang biopsych. But the reason why, pilinase ko na lang to under ng General Psych kasi yung level of my explanation here, para talaga to sa mga nagsisimula pa lang sa psychology program. To be more specific, yung goal ng lecture na to is for the psych major na nagsisimula pa lang na tama yung pananaw niya about the relationship between the brain and psychological experiences. Kasi mahalaga yan na dapat malakas ang foundation ng isang psych major tungkol sa issue na yan. Saan ba nanggagaling yung psychological experiences natin? Is it the brain that determines, that shapes our psychological experiences? So yan yung pag-uusapan natin in this lecture. Title ko, Big Mistake of Neuropsychology. Bible verse muna tayo. For in Him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities. All together read, ang sarap sabihin ng words na yan, no? All things, let me repeat, all things have been created through Him and for Him. Of course, yung Him dito, si Jesus yan. So this is from Colossians 1:16, one of the most powerful verses I know in the Bible, na kapag talagang naintindihan mo yung reality nung verse na to, everything that you see in this world will make sense. And it will also change the way you see the brain, lalong-lalo na in the context of psychology. So pag-usapan natin yan, let's start with neuropsychology. Kasi bago ko i-discuss yung mistake, ano ba muna yung neuropsychology? Sabi ng APA, ito raw ang neuropsych. You just focus on the red words. So sa neuropsychology, ang ginagawa dyan, pinag-uusapan kung ano yung mga physiological reasons, physiological factors that lead to psychological experiences. Ano yung mga behaviors mo? Ano yung mga ginagawa mo araw-araw? Ano yung mga iniisip mo? Ano yung mga nararamdaman mo? Lahat yon, sabi ng neuropsychology, merong physiological reasons. Bakit ka umiibig? Bakit ka naniniwala kay Lord? Bakit galit ka sa kapitbahay mo? Bakit gustong-gusto mo mag-aral? Bakit umaasa ka na sasagutin ka ng nililigawan mo? Lahat ng sinabi kong tanong, may sagot dyan ang physiology natin. All our psychological experiences are determined by processes in the nervous system. Lalong-lalo na yung brain. Yan yung madalas na fino-focus ng neuropsychology. How does the brain, what are the different parts of the brain na nagbibigay sa atin ng iba't ibang mga psychological/spiritual experiences? And if you accept this assumption by neuropsychology na lahat ng psychological experience mo galing sa physiological processes, it disconfirms the spiritual world. Parang yun yung yun yung assumption doon. Wala talagang spiritual world. Fine, lahat tayo naniniwala sa spiritual world. Sorry, mali, hindi pala lahat. Maraming naniniwala sa spiritual world. May Diyos, may impyerno, may heaven, may angels, so on and so forth. Pero hindi talaga totoo yung spiritual world. Yung spiritual world na pinaniniwalaan ng mga tao, gawa-gawa lang yan ng biology natin, specifically our brain or our nervous system in general. Mabigat na statement yan. Kasi kapag tinanggap mo yung assumption ng neuropsychology na to, ibig sabihin maraming mga psychological experiences that people believe to be true, ibig sabihin hindi pala totoo. For example, hindi pala totoo yung tinatawag na near-death experiences, wherein thousands and thousands of people have experienced. Near-death experiences, sa mga hindi familiar, ito yung instance where your spirit separates from your body momentarily. Tapos yung spirit mo babalik ulit sa katawan mo. Pero habang wala yung spirit mo sa katawan mo, may mga nararanasan yung spirit independent of the body, specifically the brain. So marami mga researches, marami ng mga libro ang nasulat dyan. Highly recommended, Proof of Heaven, Ang nagsulat nito, guess who? Isang neuroscientist. Meron din tayong libro na Life After Life and other books. Ang dami ring journal articles that really reports na totoo nga yung near-death experiences. Na kahit wala yung brain, the spirit can still function cognitively. Meron pa rin specific experiences. Yung spirit na humiwalay sa body. So, going back, kung totoo itong assumption na to ng neuropsychology, thousands of people are then lying or niloloko lang sila ng mga brains nila. Ang laki ng implication yan. Another implication of this assumption is it questions the validity of people who claim that they have encountered God. Isa yan sa mga universals ng human experience. Halos lahat ng mga tao sa buong mundo would report at some point sa buhay natin, meron tayong encounter with God. Naramdaman natin kinausap tayo ni Lord, naramdaman natin nayakap tayo ni Lord, naramdaman natin the Lord is with us in a certain point in time. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng taong nakaranas nun, kinausap siya ni Lord sa Bible, through the Bible, kinausap siya ni Lord through the dreams. Lahat yon invalid. Lahat yon hindi totoo, niloko lang sila ng mga brains nila. Imbento lang ng nervous system ang lahat ng spiritual experiences na yan. That's why in this lecture, I would like to challenge this assumption. For me, itong assumption na to ng neuropsychology that everything can be explained by the brain, by the nervous system, is erroneous. Now, let me be more specific here. Anong mga elements ng nervous system na naghahalo-halo that creates spiritual experiences? Ito raw, sabi ng neuropsychology. And this is the thing, again, that I'm gonna question in this lecture. It's all about the brain, neurons, hormones, neurotransmitters, maghahalo-halo yung mga yan to produce psychological experiences. Kaya ka naniniwala kay Lord, kaya ka nagmamahal, kaya ka natatakot, kaya ka na-excite, kaya meron kang pag-asa, lahat yon. It's just neurological processes. Let me repeat, I think this model is erroneous. At isa sa mga pinaka-inaatake ng neuropsychology in connection to these spiritual experiences is the concept of God. Karamihan ng mga neuropsychologists that I read about, atheistic neuropsychology really attacks the concept of God. Wala talagang Diyos. Ang Diyos, gawa-gawa nyo lang yan. God is just the creation of your brain. A more scientific term for this kind of thinking, ang tawag is spiritual materialism. Ang sinasabi ng spiritual materialism, lahat ng spiritual experiences ng tao, close ka kay Lord, kinausap ka ni Lord, tinatawag ka ni Lord sa isang ministry, lahat yan, gawa-gawa lang yan ng brain mo. Again, in this lecture, I am going to challenge, I am going to question this kind of thinking. Hindi tayo naniniwala sa spiritual materialism, and I'm going to explain why. But just to be fair, no? Hindi naman lahat ng neuropsychologists ganun mag-isip. Meron pa rin mga neuropsychologists who believe in God, they believe in the spiritual world, they believe that yung spiritual experiences natin is independent of the brain, meron pa rin, pero konti. The norm, the majority of neuropsychologists in the field coming from the hard sciences are atheistic in nature. Marami talagang naniniwala na lahat ng psychological experiences natin gawa-gawa lang ng nervous system natin. And the sad news is, ito yung uso. Yan yung usong version ng neuropsychology. Yan yung tinuturo sa mga universities. That all spiritual experiences are just nothing but the creation of the brain. One example would be a guy by the name of Timothy Leary who was a psychologist. Isa siya sa mga psychologists na yan yung paniniwala Yung neuropsychology can explain spiritual experiences. Sabi niya, the brain is the key. Take note of what he's emphasizing here, the brain, which is the physical. The brain is the key. The brain is the source. The brain is God. In-equate din niya yung brain sa Diyos. Everything that humans do is neuroecology, which is an aspect of neuropsychology. Kaya from there, si Timothy Leary sumulat ng libro na ang title, Your Brain is God. There's no such thing as God. It's all the creation of your brain. Ganyan ang atheistic neuropsychology. Everything is purely biological. Another website by the name of New Scientist, sumulat sila ng article, ang title, Born Believers. How your brain, everybody reads, creates God. So where did God come from? From your brain. Gawa-gawa lang yun ng brain mo. In one excerpt of the article, sabi, our brains effortlessly conjure up an imaginary, everybody read that, imaginary, ini-imagine lang ng brain natin. Ang alin? World of spirits, gods, and monsters. Biruin mo yon, yung konsepto ng Diyos, nilevel mo sa mga monsters na gawa-gawa lang. And the more insecure we feel, the harder it is to resist the pull of this supernatural world. It seems that our minds are finely tuned to believe in gods. Ganyang klaseng neuropsychology yung popular ngayon, tinuturo sa iba't ibang mga universities, and sadly, many people, especially young people, believe this kind of neuropsychology. Now, again, just to be fair, no? Baka naman may pinanggagalingang evidences etong model na to say what they say. That God and all the spiritual world is just the creation of the brain. What's their basis for saying that? Meron naman. Number one, ginagamit nila yung konsepto ng brain specialization. For those not familiar, ang brain specialization na discovered ng mga psychologists that parts of the brain are very active in when a person wait lang na-type ako dito. When a person is having spiritual activities or experiences. So kapag ang tao, meron siyang spiritual activities na ginagawa, nagpe-pray siya, nagbabasa siya ng Bible, feeling niya kinakausap siya ni Lord, meron daw mga parts of the brain na very active, kaya nangyayari yon. Tapos papakitaan ka ng mga brain scans na ganyan. Kita mo na, yung nararamdaman mong nakikinig si Lord sa'yo habang nagpe-pray ka, hindi talaga totoo yan. Wala talagang Lord na nakikinig sa'yo. Yung brain mo kasi very active, that's why you are feeling that. Papakitaan ka ng ganyang brain scan. Kita mo na, yung pagme-meditate mo on God's Word, yung inuulit-ulit mo yung isang Bible verse in your mind, akala mo si Lord close na close mo, hindi totoo yan. Yung brain mo lang ang nagpapa-feel sa'yo niyan. Bottom line, your brain is making you feel spiritual. There's no spiritual world. You are not a spiritual being, but your brain is making you feel spiritual. Alright? So, yan yung evidence number 1 nila, yung specialization of the brain. Number 2, another reason why pinaninindigan nila that everything is physiological is because of the laboratory studies that they do. So, ang mangyayari dito, hahanap sila ng mga taong spiritual. Hanap sila ng pastor, ng monk. Hanap sila ng mga nuns. Dadalhin sa laboratory. Kakabitan ng mga ganyang electrodes para masilip yung brain kapag gumawa na sila ng mga spiritual activities in the laboratory. So, yan yung step 1, no? In those laboratory studies, these people will perform certain spiritual activities. Pagdadasalin sila, pagbabasahin sila ng Bible, magme-meditate sila. Like, for example, in this picture, yan yung ginagawa ng madre dito. Nag-undergo siya ng fMRI. So, magme-meditate siya, magro-rosaryo siya, kakausapin niya si Lord habang tinitingnan kung ano yung nangyayari sa parts of the brain. And then, step 2, habang gumagawa na sila ng spiritual activities, titignan na nila yung brain activities. And step 3, once they see certain brain activities, ano sasabihin nila? Yun, kita nyo na, this is an evidence na yung brain activities mo, yung brain mo, na nakikita namin via MRI, yun ang nagbibigay sa'yo ng spiritual experiences. Bakit feeling mo nakikinig si Lord sa'yo? Bakit feeling mo close si Lord sa'yo? Because your brain made you feel that way. Nagigets nyo? So, yun yung mga evidences na nagbibigay lakas doon sa model. Yan, so that's evidence 2, this is evidence 1. Combine that, yan yung evidences nila. Why they say, Everything is neurological process. Now, from this point on, i-challenge ko na yan by giving you an alternative view. It's called the spiritual worldview. Sa spiritual worldview, china-challenge itong model na to. It's not the neurological processes that creates the psychological experiences, rather, it's the other way around. Let me further explain, no? Kung matulis lang yung mga mata ninyo, in my previous examples that support this model, sa tingin ko ang problema, nagkakaroon ng misplacement. Mali ang assignment ng marami mga neuropsychologists kung ano ang cause at ano ang effect. Yun yung sinasabi kong error. Going back, di ba yung title ko? Yun yung sinasabi kong mistake ng neuropsychology. Merong mali sa pag-assign nila kung ano ang cause at ano ang effect between those two variables, the brain and spiritual experiences. In my previous examples, they assume it is the brain that is the cause of those spiritual experiences. Napansin niyo yun? Kaya feeling mo kinakausap ka ni Lord, kaya feeling mo love na love ka ni Lord, kaya feeling mo may Holy Spirit ka, kasi, di ba yung word na kasi? It points to a cause. Kasi, dahil yon sa brain mo. But what many people don't realize is, kung rerebihin mo lang yung takbo ng mga studies, ang talagang cause is the spiritual activity, ang talagang effect are the brain activities. Nagsisimula muna sa spiritual activities, magdadasal muna, babasa muna ng Bible. From there, doon susunod, doon lalabas yung brain activities na nakikita nila sa mga laboratories. Kaya ito ang correct sequence dyan. Mag-i-spiritual activities muna yung tao, and that requires intention. Pipiliin natin magdasal, pipiliin natin magbasa ng Bible, pipiliin natin maging close kay Lord. From there, kapag ginawa na natin yung spiritual activities na yan, boom! Doon ngayon magre-react yung neurological/brain processes that they're talking about. Spiritual activities activate brain processes, not the other way around. Kaya ito yung tamang model that I want to promote here. It starts with spirituality. It starts with the psyche and the spirit. Tayo yan. Remember, we are embodied spirits. Mga spirito tayo na may katawan. Tapos meron tayong intention to do spiritual activities. Natural sa atin yan. Spiritual beings tayo eh. Meron tayong craving for praying, meditating, worshiping, reading God's Word. And when we do, kapag ginawa na natin yung mga activities na yan, magre-react yung brain natin in certain ways. Yun na yung nakikita nila sa MRI, fMRI, and other brain scanning techniques. Kaya may mga parts ng brain na active whenever we have spiritual experiences. Effect yun, yung spiritual activities is the effect. Yung brain behaviors that we see here is the effect of spiritual activities. So ulitin ko, ano ang cause? Ano ang effect? Ang cause, yung spiritual activities, yung effect, yung brain processes. Pero sa popular neuropsychology, binabaliktad nila yan. So they say, it's all in the brain. Kaya mo to nararanasan dahil sa neurological processes. So, I think this is not right. Ito yung tama. Now, a common counter-argument na isasagot sa'yo ng mga atheistic neuropsychologists would be, they will present these studies. Okay, how do you explain deep brain stimulation studies, or DBS for short? Everybody say that, DBS. Deep brain stimulation. It's a series of studies where kakabitan nila ng gadget yung participant sa ulo, tapos yung gadget na yan, meron siyang kakayanan na mag-deliver ng electrical stimulation sa certain parts of the brain. Astig, no? Kaya mahal yung gadget na yan. And the thing is, in these studies, nakita nila na kapag meron silang part ng brain, may certain part of brain na ini-stimulate electrically, lumalabas yung mga spiritual experiences ng tao. So imagine ikaw ito yung neuropsychologist, pinindot niya yung isang button, yung isang part of ng brain mo na kuryente, guess what? Magkakaroon ka ng spiritual experiences. So sasabihin mo, nararamdaman mo, God is here, nakita mo yung langit, nakita mo yung mga dead relatives mo, makakaisip ka ng mga Bible verses. How do you explain that? Hindi ba yung studies na yan, matibay na ebidensya na totoo ito? Stimulate one part of the brain, it produces spiritual experiences. Oh, this is a strong evidence that that model is true. Ang sagot ko, hindi. You cannot use this study to support the view that everything is neurological. In fact, etong mga studies na to further supports the model that there is such a thing as a spiritual world. Bakit? Paano ko nasabi? Ito ang response ko dyan, no? We should not be surprised. Hindi tayo dapat magulat kung bakit pag ini-stimulate mo yung isang part of the brain, nagkakaroon ng spiritual experience. Bakit? Kasi dual tayo in nature. Meron tayong physical nature, kasama na dyan yung brain natin, part of our body yan. Pero meron din tayong spiritual nature. At kahit na magkaiba ng nature yan, iba yung physical, iba yung spiritual, it does not mean wala silang pakialam sa isa't isa. In fact, they are so close. They are intimate with each other. The brain affects the spirit affects the brain. Let me show you an illustration. Oh, ready? Imagine this is the brain and this is the spirit. Ano sila? Sabi ko, close sila. Intimate sila. Now, imagine, galawin ko lang yung brain ko. Stimulate ko yung brain. Ito yung brain, ito yung spirit. Brain. Yung ginagalaw ko dito yung brain, ha? May nararamdaman mo yung brain? Of course. Pero may nararamdaman din ba yung spirit? Meron. Bakit? Kasi nga, close sila. Whatever I do with the brain, the spirit feels. The spirit reacts. And vice versa. Brain, spirit, close sila. Galawin ko lang yung spirit. Galawin ko lang. Oh. May nararamdaman ba yung spirit? Of course, siya yung ginagalaw ko eh. Pero may nararamdaman din ba yung brain? Yes, kasi close nga sila. The brain affects the spirit affects the brain. Nagigets nyo? Pero focus lang ako doon sa focus lang ako sa the brain affects the spirit. The physical affects the spiritual. Meron ba tayo mga examples na totoo nga yan? Kung anong gawin mo sa physical, merong effect sa spiritual. Sounds familiar? Ito nga yan, yung nakikita nila sa deep brain studies. Galawin nila yung physical, magkakaroon ng spiritual. So, ano yung mga evidences ko na kapag may ginagalaw ka physically, nagkakaroon ng spiritual effects, which supports the brain and the spirit interaction. Meron akong 3 examples. Number 1, drugs. Alam naman natin na ang drugs, physical element yan. Pag kinuha mo yan, if you take the drugs, sininghot mo, tinurok mo, whatever, may mga physical effects yan leading to spiritual effects. Right? Yung mga immediate spiritual effects niyan would be hihina immune system mo, masisira yung cells mo, masisira yung brain parts mo, but fast forward mo, ang effect ng drugs will be spiritual. Makakita ka na ng mga spiritual beings, hinahabol ka ng 10 demonyo, feeling mo nasa heaven ka, mga spiritual experiences yan eh. Saan galing yung mga spiritual experiences na yon? Sa isang physical element such as drugs. Kaya nga sa psychology, merong specialized field ang tawag psychopharmacology. Wherein, pinag-aaralan doon ano yung mga psychological effects of physical elements, lalong-lalo na drugs. O, di ba? Number 2, another evidence na dual nature tayo. And these two are intimate. When you stimulate the physical, it affects the spiritual, yung physical touch. How many of you here, in your life, you were undergoing lots of stress? You were undergoing high levels of fear. Takot na takot ka, stress na stress ka, at kailangan mo ng yakap. When was the last time you said that? Kailangan ko ng yakap. Yun, taas ang kamay. Sino may ganyan experience? Kailangan ko ng yakap. And then let's say somebody, you know, somebody special to you, binigay sa'yo yan. Niyakap ka. Halika nga dito, yakapin kita. Alam kong stress out ka, alam kong natatakot ka, huwag kang mag-alala, nandito lang ako. Niyakap ka. Yung act ng pagyakap, physical yon, right? Ano ba nangyari doon? Naramdaman mo yung warmth ng tao. Right? Kasi siguro yung taong yumakap sa'yo, nilalagnat pa. So, kaya warm na warm, no? O ano pa? Nagdikit lang yung mga balat nyo. Nagkapalitan lang kayo ng amoy. Mga physical things yun eh. Pero you cannot deny the fact that when you experience those physical feelings, it gave you psychological effects. Dahil niyakap ka niya, you felt secure. You felt safe. You felt comfort. The physical influencing the spiritual. Last one, sexual union. Ang sex, it's a physical act between two people. Pero, ang sex, hindi lang siya purely physical, meron din yung spiritual effect sa mga taong nagsisex. Kaya nga ang Bible, very conservative sa sexual behaviors. Paulit-ulit ang Bible, dapat makikipag-sex ka lang sa tamang tao in the right context, which is the context of marriage. Makikipag-sex ka lang sa husband and wife mo. Why? Because when two people have sex, their souls intertwine. Nagahalo yung souls ng mga tao in that sexual union. Kaya kapag masyado kang liberal sa sex, kung sino-sino na lang ang kasex mo, ano nangyayari? Yung spirito mo humahalo sa iba't ibang mga spirito na hindi mo alam kung saan nanggaling in the first place. Hindi mo alam yung background ng taong yon. Hindi mo alam yung quality of that person's spirit. Hindi mo alam, baka idol worshiper yon. Hindi mo alam, baka nagpa-practice ng witchcraft yon. Tapos yung spirit niya, humalo sa spirit mo because you had sex. So ano sinasabi ng Bible? To be safe, to protect yourself. Para sigurado ka na yung spirit mo, yung makakasama niya, yung makaka-union niya, is the right one for you, monogamous relationship via marriage. Isa lang taong kasex mo in the context of marriage who is your husband and your wife. O, di ba? Because again, ang bottom line, sex is not just a physical thing, it is something spiritual. In fact, there was a study done. Pinag-aralin nila ano ang epekto sa isang tao kapag nalaman nilang niloloko sila ng sexual partner nila. And according to the result, violence and aggression. Anong tawag dyan? Sa legal terms, crimes of passion. Diba? At anong mapapansin nyo sa mga crimes of passion? Kapag ang isang tao nalaman niyang niloloko siya sexually ng isang taong lagi niyang kasex, grabe yung expression. Kasi yung spirit, yung anger ng spirit, sobrang galit, sobrang lakas ng energy, matatranslate yon sa physical aggression, leads to crimes of passion that are so heinous. Grabe magalit ang spirit. Natatranslate yon sa physical aggression ng tao towards the people na nanloloko sa kanya. In fact, there was a guy by the name of David Buss, evolutionary psychologist siya, he wrote a book about this. Bakit daw kapag ang tao nalaman niyang niloloko siya sa isang sexual relationship, nagiging super aggressive, leads to crimes of passion that are so heinous. Grabe yung kayang gawin ng mga tao when it comes to this issue. Sinasagot ni David Buss yan in this book, no? Why Men Behave Badly. Although hindi lang men ang may ganyan, na kahit babae kayang gawin yan. Pag ang isang babae nalaman niya na yung sexual partner niya niloloko siya, may kasex na iba, the spirit gets really angry, sobrang taas ng energy, leads to physical aggression. To the point, kayang gawin yan. Yan. Manood na lang kayo, magbasa na lang kayo ng mga ganyang klaseng balita and you will understand what I'm talking about here. Because again, what's the bottom line of all this? Sex is not just a physical act. It's a physical act that leads to spiritual effects. Another evidence that indeed the brain is different from the spirit, but they influence one another. Got that? Kaya, hindi tayo dapat magulat sa mga ganyang studies. Hindi pwedeng gamitin tong studies na to prove that God is just a creation of the brain. In fact, it further proves, it further confirms that indeed, we are spiritual beings, there is a spiritual world, and there is the ultimate spiritual being who is God Himself. So in closing, ano ba yung mga applications na pwede nating matutunan dito? Number one, it has something to do with how you see the brain. Lalong-lalo na yung mga psych majors dyan. Nagsisimula pa lang kayo sa program. Dapat tama ang pananaw nyo sa brain. What is the brain? The brain is a physical tool. Wala naman tayong issue doon, no? Physical entity talaga yung brain. Pero yung physical entity na yan, it is made, it is designed to connect to the spiritual world. Ito yung tamang framework. Yung brain natin, hindi ito evolution. Out of nowhere, may explosion, tapos randomly nagkaroon ng first form of life, billions of years nag-adapt na nag-adapt, hanggang sa maya-maya nagkaroon na ng brain, lumaki yung brain, nagkaroon na ng civilization. That is not true. The brain is a physical thing designed by a spiritual being. At bakit niya ginawa yon? Because that spiritual being who is God wants us to constantly connect to the spiritual world because we ought to. Bakit? Because we are spiritual beings in the first place. Kaya nga binasa ko kanina yung Colossians 1:16. For in Him, all things were created, things in heaven and on earth. Magbigay ka ng isang thing na created na makikita mo sa mundo. Created, makikita sa mundo, brain. At yung brain na yan, anong sabi? Kung ituloy mo yung passage, that brain was created through Him. Jesus was the template. Jesus, the ultimate spiritual being, through Him was the brain created. So may pagka-spiritual yung brain because it was, may word man na templated. It was templated after. Sabihin nyo kung may word ba na templated or gawa-gawa ko lang, but you get my point. The brain was templated after a spiritual being who is Jesus. So we should not be surprised why the brain is very spiritual when stimulated in certain ways. At bakit ginawa yung brain na yan? For what purpose? Anong sabi dito? For Him. For His purposes. Kaya dapat ang brain ginagamit yan for God's work. Hindi yan dapat ginagamit to disprove the existence of God. That's not the design of the brain. Nagigets nyo? Ang good news naman dito, slowly, many scientists are realizing this, na talagang ang brain, hindi mo lang siya pwede i-consider as a physical entity. Hindi lang ito atoms and molecules and blood vessels. No. There is something spiritual in the brain of human beings. Kaya nagsulat yung isang neuroscientist ng libro entitled, Why God Won't Go Away. Ang tagal-tagal na ng human civilization, bakit hindi ba natin mahinto-hinto yung idea natin about God? Bakit parami pa rin yung religion wherein we want to connect to a spiritual world, to spiritual entities, because our brain is spiritual. Yan yung idea ng why God won't go away. Basahin nyo rin yung The Spiritual Brain. It's also a highly recommended book. No? So maraming mga scientists ngayon are already claiming, accepting the fact that brain is not just a physical thing. There is spirituality in the brain. Number 2, ang another application dito is you really need to reject scientism. For those not familiar, ang scientism, ito yung isang way of thinking where you believe that all truths must be based on science. Science lang ang magsasabi kung ano ang totoo sa hindi. Again, let me say to you, reject scientism. Hindi ako anti-science. I love science. Psychology is a science. Pero for you to say na science lang dapat ang magdedetermine ng reality is idolatry of science. We should not worship science. Dapat open yung mind mo to accept certain beliefs outside science. Because let me tell you, maraming mga katotohanan sa buhay, totoo, pero hindi scientific. Diba? Siyempre, ang tao ngayon sa society natin bias. Kung anong sinabi ng science, totoo. But guess what? Maraming katotohanan sa buhay, totoo, pero hindi siya galing sa science. In fact, mas marami yon kumpara sa mga truths na ini-establish ng science. And one of the sources, or should I say, the main source na dapat pinaniniwalaan mo outside science that contains the truth about the spiritual world, about reality in general, is none other than the scriptures. Kaya kung psych major ka, hindi ka dapat nahihiya na nagbabasa ka ng scriptures. In fact, I would even say, kung psych major ka, non-negotiable, dapat nagbabasa ka rin ng scriptures. Tapos kino-combine mo yung nababasa mo sa scriptures sa resulta ng scientific literature in psychology. Yan ang balanseng psikolohiya. Hindi yung psych major ka or psych professional ka, lahat na lang ng psychological experiences sasabihin mo, brain lang. That is so narrow a view of reality. You are missing a lot of things if you just limit your truths within the bounds of science. Because life is more than just science. Grabe ang galing ko mag-English doon. And last one, number 3, you really need to nourish your spiritual nature. Isa sa mga sana nakuha nyo in this lecture is dual nature tayo. May physical, may spiritual. Every day we do things that nourishes our physical. Kumakain tayo, umiinom tayo ng vitamins, nag-e-exercise tayo, natutulog tayo ng maaga, umiinom tayo ng tubig, para maging malakas yung katawan natin. Yun ang problema sa maraming tao ngayon. May imbalance. Puro katawan na lang yung ninonorish, nawawala yung pag-nourish sa espiritu. Tanong, paano natin inonorish yung spirito? Yung tayo mismo, because we are spiritual beings. How do we nourish ourselves? 2 steps yan. Know the truths, satisfy your needs. It starts with knowing the truths. Dapat alam mo muna yung mga foundation spiritual truths, tulad ng totoong may Diyos, may eternity, may demons, may heaven, may hell. Totoo lahat yan. Yan yung truths. Kapag na-acknowledge mo na yung truths na yan, next step, now you're ready to satisfy your needs. Ano yung mga needs? Yung nasa kanan. Kailangan mo ng salvation bilang isang spiritual being. Kailangan mo ng forgiveness, love, worship, gratitude. In fact, kapag ginawa mo yung 2 steps na yan, acknowledge the truth, ibigay mo sa sarili mo yung needs mo, that is the key to well-being. Pampaganda yan ng mental health. Unfortunately, I think this is the reason why many young people today, ang dami mga mental health issues kasi napakasikat ng atheistic neuropsychology. Atheistic neuropsychology rejects these truths. Anong implication nun? Kapag napaniwala mo yung mga tao na wala nito, they will not move to give themselves what they need. Bakit sila maghahanap ng salvation kung hindi naman sila na niniwala sa Diyos? You see, kaya very crucial to eh. Dapat tanggapin mo na totoo to para mag-respond ka dito. But what the devil is doing in our society is, eto, i-cover natin yung truth. Walang Diyos, walang eternity, walang demons, walang heaven, walang hell. You're just bunch of molecules. Sounds familiar? Atheistic neuropsychology na usong-uso ngayon. So many people believe this. So anong effect? Maraming mga tao hindi to nakukuha. Walang salvation, walang forgiveness, walang love, hindi nag-worship, walang gratitude. Ano ang epekto? Boom. Mental health crisis. I think that's one of the reasons. No, don't get me wrong, maraming possible reasons. Bakit may mental health crisis? I am not oversimplifying this, but you cannot deny the fact that one big reason why marami mga tao bagsak ang mental health, kulang sa spiritual needs. And the reason why kulang sila sa spiritual needs kasi hindi naman sila naniniwala sa spiritual truths. Because popular science, popular neuropsychology is so successful in making people believe na it's all in the brain, which is a big mistake. Nagigets nyo? So, yun lang, no? Yung maikli nating lecture on the big mistake of neuropsychology. I'm sure marami kayong comments, marami kayong questions. Ilagay nyo lang dyan sa baba. Sana nakatulong tong lecture na to. Sir Howard here. God bless everyone.